Vestavia football is presented by Moe's Original Barbecue, a Southern soul food revival, and brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly, local sense forever. Baumhauer's Victory Grill, you are legendary. St. Vincent's Health System, personalized care when and where you need it. Jimmy John's, Vestavia Hills, freaky fast gourmet sandwiches. D1 Birmingham, Vestavia Hills, train different. Bryant Bank, Andrews Sports Medicine, ATI, Mandalucason, Remax, Yanoski Orthodontics, Farmers Insurance, the Stacio Shields Agency, Dr. Melanie Petro, and Progress Bank. The Rebel Pregame Report, presented by Yanoski Orthodontics and brought to you in part by Bryant Bank, Farmers Insurance, the Stacio Shields Agency, and D1 Birmingham.
Good evening, Rebel fans, and welcome back to tonight's broadcast. It has been a 2-week hiatus for the Rebels, but we are back tonight facing the Thompson Warriors here at Thompson High School. My name is MJ Newsom here alongside my partner Cole Spain. 2 weeks ago, the Rebels took on Tuscaloosa County and picked up a big 17-10 victory, their first win of the year. Last week, Mountain Brook took on 6A rival Mountain Brook, Mountain Brook's first year in 6A after having dropped down from 7A last year. The number one ranked 6A team, but that was not a problem for the Warriors. They stomped on the Spartans, 31-0. And Thompson comes into tonight's game ranked number 16 in the nation, according to Max Preps. So a big test here for the Rebels.
Yeah, Thompson is going to be a tough challenge for Vestavia with Jeremiah Alexander, one of the top defensive players in his class, and also Trey Roberson, one of the a very agile wide receiver they got who committed to Auburn.
Yeah, lots of talent across the board for the Warriors. They also have senior defensive back, receiver, and running back. He is an athlete. Number 1, Sam Reynolds. He is committed to South Carolina, a football offer as long as a track and field offer. So that is just to mention a few of the very, very talented individuals that the Warriors have. Obviously, the Rebels, no one headed to any big SEC schools, but we know with the passion the Rebels can play with. And tonight I think it's going to be it's going to be a game, David versus Goliath. And we've got these, big Thompson Warriors here, as I mentioned, number 16 in the country, obviously number 1 in the state, versus a group of guys in the Rebels who, are not as talented as the other side. But, nonetheless, it will be decided on the field tonight.
Absolutely. I see the Rebels relying on their run game as usual, but especially tonight heavy because passing game has not been what we want to see it at in the last couple weeks. So I'm sure they'll stick with their strengths.
Yeah, the Rebels, they're probably going to have to rely on Braden Glenn to give them a couple big plays through the air because, that as you mentioned, Cole, Jeremiah Alexander, the 2023 number 11 player in the country, committed to Alabama at linebacker. He's going to be a force for Thompson in the run game. So the Rebels will kick off to begin the game. It is Thompson back deep to receive. And here's McMeans set to kick off, and this ball game is underway. His return coming out, and it's a big return for number 2, Caden Haywood, and he's going to take the opening kickoff all the way into the end zone, and a big start for Thompson as he just found a huge hole and did not stop. So a ugly start for the Rebels, but a huge opening start for the Warriors.
Yeah, Rebels just didn't anticipate that the explosive start that he had on that run.
Carson Haywood there with a big return for Thompson, and it is going to be number 19, Trevor Hardy, on for the extra point. That one is up. It's a high one, but it is good. So an early 7-0 lead for Thompson, just 18 seconds into this ball game. a little bit of a surprise there. I mean, if you're any fan, an opening kickoff return for a touchdown, and Thompson really setting the tone for this one.
This quarter is brought to you with limited commercial interruption, courtesy of Moe's Original Barbecue, a Southern soul food revival.
From our brief commercial there. If you missed it, Carson Haywood, number 2 for Thompson, took the opening kickoff from the 1-yard line all the way back for a touchdown to start this ball game off. So a very, very quick start for the 16th ranked team in the nation and the Thompson Warriors. And the Rebels are now going to have to come back and make a huge response through their offense.
Yeah, and if that's not a wake-up call to the Rebels early on, then I don't know what is. Special teams need to be more alert.
And we know, how dangerous this Thompson team is. The Rebels got to know that they've got to come out and give their defense some breathing room. They can't come out with a 3-and-out, punt it away and give Thompson good field position. They're going to have to come out, make a splash, move the ball down the field, and work this Thompson defense.
Absolutely.
So the man who kicked the extra point for Thompson, number 19, Trevor Hardy, is on to kick this back. It is Teo Crawford and Alex McKinstry back to receive for the Rebels. So here's Hardy running up to kick. This is a long, high kick. Fielded at the goal line by McKinstry. McKinstry's going to take it out. And he is met at the 20-yard line there by number 52, Rush Crawford.
And we'll see how the Vestavia offense adapts to the early touchdown led by the special teams. Hopefully they can quickly overcome that.
So here comes senior quarterback Braden Glenn and the offense needing to get something done here. Also, number 23 fullback Landon Neese is back after being sick, missing the last 2 games. So we'll see a heavy dosage of him tonight, I'm sure, in that Rebels backfield. Teo Crawford behind Neese to begin the game. It's going to be a play action here. Looking towards Neese, and Neese has a catch. And Neese turns it upfield, good for a gain of 20+, and a big start there for the Rebels, especially Braden Glenn there, picking up a big pass to get things going.
Yeah, Neese starting strong early on in this game. Been gone for a while. Wants to prove that he's still worth something to this team.
And Braden Glenn, trying to get the confidence going there early. We saw him pick up a lot of confidence in that last game against Tuscaloosa County. Really started to settle down in that pocket and really command his team. So let's see if he can carry on that confidence right there with that completion. It's twins down at the bottom of your screen. Knox Romeo in the slot. Charlie Hughes, the receiver, near the sideline. Here's a give to Neese, and nothing going there. He's going to be tackled immediately by number 10, Gregory Green, the defensive end.
Yeah, we see that fullback dive early on. It's a classic Rebel run. We'll see if they, lack of success on the first try. We'll see if they continue to try that.
So here come the Rebels again out in the classic I formation. Be a 2nd and 9 here from the 31. It's another give to Neese. Neese finds, he had a hole initially, but nonetheless brought down by the Alabama commit, number 7, Jeremiah Alexander.
Yeah, and Jeremiah Alexander against Hewitt-Trussville was an absolute machine. Very competitive team that he was playing against as well, so he's the real deal.
So here is you want to keep the drive alive, obviously, and also, give your defense some breathing room, especially already being down 7-0. So here's the play action pass. Glenn looking on a screen to Neese. He's got Neese, and Neese can get about 2 yards before he is tripped up there by number 19, Trevor Hardy, also kicking the ball for the Warriors tonight, making a nice play there on 3rd down.
Neese having a lot of touches very early on. I'm assuming that's going to be a trend for this game.
Yeah, so here is Matthew McMeans on to punt, and he is going to punt to the former Homewood Patriot and now Thompson Warrior and future Army Black Knight, Trey Roberson. Here's the snap. It's a bit low. McMeans handles it nicely and gets a good punt away. Roberson will field it at the 23. He's got nowhere to go. He makes a couple moves. Roberson's got a little bit of room in front of him, and it looks like a flag coming in. Might have been a block in the back, but Roberson nonetheless has got some room. McMeans is there, and McMeans tries to bring him down. Roberson stays on his feet. And a acrobatic return, to say the least, there by Trey Roberson. There is a flag, multiple flags back there at the 22-yard line, and I believe this one is coming back. In fact, there are flags all over the place. See one at the 35 and near midfield. And there's bound to be something here. And Thompson already getting their offense ready back deep into their own territory, as they know this penalty is on them.
From what it looked like from up here, it looked like a block in the back.
And the man with the white hat is going to call block in the back. They're going to move this one all the way back. So a big acrobatic return by Roberson just for nothing. So Thompson is going to have to start deep in their own territory. And a real break there for the Rebels. Obviously, that play probably would not have happened with that block without that block in the back. But another big return would have really demoralized this defense and this whole team. So Thompson will begin their drive at about the 11-yard line. And here comes senior quarterback Caden Golden to lead the Warriors. So here's the give to the Gamecock commit, Sam Reynolds. Reynolds moving to the outside, and a big hit there by number 29, Cam Liaka, but that pickup is going to be good for a Warriors first down.
Yeah, we've seen Cam Liaka make some crazy defensive plays in the last couple weeks.
And Gamecock commit there, Sam Reynolds, will be playing tailback most of the evening tonight in place of the injured Jarrett Crockett, number 26. Has been their main back for 2 years now, but he is out with an injury tonight. Here's another give to Reynolds. Reynolds makes a move to the outside, and he picks up another heavy dosage of yards. And this is going to be good for another Warriors first down. So 2 outside runs quickly by Sam Reynolds and 2 first downs. So here is a fresh set of downs. First down here. Rebels almost got drawn off sides there by the hard count. Here's Golden back to pass. He's got no one open. Scrambles out of the pocket. Looks downfield, and he's got a receiver. It's number 13, J.B. Mitchell with a big catch. Correction, the quarterback there, not Cade Golden. It is number 15, Connor Harrell, back there tonight, the junior.
Yeah, Connor Harrell really showing off his arm there. As we've seen before, he has a very talented arm, and I've heard he can also run a little bit.
Yeah, nice way to evade the pocket there, to find some running room and make that pass downfield there complete to J.B. Mitchell. So here is yet another first down on this drive for Thompson. They're into enemy territory, set to snap this one at about the 36. Harrell drops back. He gets hit as he throws, but it's complete. So number 2, Carson Haywood, the man who took the opening kickback.
Rebels really struggling with their tackling. They're kind of just grasping at straws here with their effort. But
looking a little bit tough out here for the Rebels. A lot of athleticism on this Thompson offense, as we've seen already. Reynolds, Haywood, and Connor Harrell all making huge plays with their legs. So Thompson continuing to check many plays at the line. So here's Harrell relaying the play to his troops. They got trips up to the top of your screen. Reynolds to his right. The give is to Reynolds. Reynolds finds a hole up the middle. He makes a move and a block to the outside, and Sam Reynolds is going to take this one into the end zone after going completely west to east, making a big-time touchdown. And the Warriors quickly less than 5 minutes into this game, are already up 2 scores. And Sam Reynolds really showing out tonight. As I said, in place of the injured Jarrett Crockett, but really looking like, he could be a dangerous factor tonight for that Thompson Warriors offense. So the kick is up. It's another high one, but nonetheless, it is good. Your score, Thompson 14, Vestavia Hills 0. Still 7:21 remaining in this first quarter. So the Rebels needing to get a big offensive drive going the next.
This quarter is brought to you with limited commercial interruption, courtesy of Moe's Original Barbecue, a Southern soul food revival. Vestavia football is presented by Moe's Original Barbecue, a Southern soul food revival, and brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly, local scents forever. Baumhauer's Victory Grill, you are legendary. St. Vincent's Health System, personalized care when and where you need it. Jimmy John's, Vestavia Hills, freaky fast gourmet sandwiches. D1 Birmingham, Vestavia Hills, train different. Bryant
Back, Rebel fans. If you have missed any of this game so far, Thompson out to a really hot and quick start, already up 14-0 here. It's McKinstry and Crawford back deep to receive. This one going into the end zone, and it is going to be a touchback. So the Rebels will take over here from the 25. A pretty solid drive, first drive, I guess, for the Rebels. A really good first play. 20-yard pass, screen pass complete to Landon Neese. And then a couple, good plays there. As you saw, a good run for Neese, a screen play, but did not get enough for that first down. So 4 plays and a punt for the Rebels. Going to need a lot more coming out here to beat this Thompson Warriors defense. So here is the Rebels. Teo Crawford is the tailback. Twins at the top of your screen. Charlie Hughes, Cole Turner in the slot. It's a quick QB sneak from Braden Glenn, and that's going to pick up a solid 4 or 5 yards there to begin the drive.
Yeah, the Rebels are really playing to their strengths offensively, short passes and runs up the middle. It's what we've been seeing a lot this season, and I'm sure that's what we'll continue to see this game.
And you said playing to your strengths, Cole, there. Even that QB sneak, obviously not the most, fancy of plays, but that is a playing to strength for the Rebels. They have that sneaky QB sneak, as obviously.
Absolutely.
But, we saw Braden Glenn bust a big one in that Oak Mountain game for a touchdown. So here is a 2nd and 5. It's Glenn back to pass, and it's a tight pass over there to Charlie Hughes, broken up there by number 4, Gavin Shipman, the senior defensive back. So already another 3rd down staring in the face of the Rebels, and a much-needed conversion here for the Rebels to try to give your defense some time to recover and really give your offense a chance to score. So here's Glenn at the line, trying to draw the defense off sides with a hard count. Here's the snap. It's a give to Neese. Neese finds his way through a hole into the secondary and finally brought down by number 17, Tyler Reed, but not after a first down there for the Rebels, and the chains will move for a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, we are yet to see any of the Vestavia running backs come into play. We've seen quarterback, wide receiver, and fullback.
And correction, that tackle was made by Kobe Stewart, the defensive end. Tyler Reed also wearing 17 as a receiver. So here's 1st and 10. Knox Romeo coming in motion here. It's another give to Landon Neese. Alexander meets him quickly. And Neese is going to pick up about 3 yards, so a pretty good effort there after hit by the Bama commit. And he's going to get a few more yards there to make it a 2nd and a little bit shorter than it ordinarily would have been.
Yeah, Neese having a very heavy-loaded comeback game. He's getting the ball a lot. They're really relying on him. He's one of our strongest players on offense.
Yeah, we'll look to see, a little bit of Alex McKinstry coming back in, who is playing fullback in place of Neese. Played a really good 2 games, so expect to see him get in on the action. So here's a play-action pass for Glenn. Looking across the field to Charlie Hughes, and that is just too high and over his head. So incomplete, and it will bring up another 3rd and 6 for the Rebels, trying to get another conversion.
Yeah, a play that looked it would have worked if the pass were just a little bit lower, but Rebels will try to figure that out.
Yeah, it looked like he also might have had Cole Turner, cutting on a post to the middle of his screen. Safety plan, 2 receivers put pretty well there. But nonetheless, it is an incomplete pass and a 3rd and 6 upcoming here for the Rebels. So here's Glenn checking at the line. Here's the give to Teo Crawford, and Teo is met immediately there by number 3, Antonio Mitchell, the sophomore defensive back, making a splash in there in the first time in this ball game that he's recorded a tackle.
Yeah, we want to see the special teams be less reactive and more proactive here on this punt. We don't want to see another return or potential return like we saw last punt.
So Antonio Mitchell, the man who just made the tackle, is now back to receive Matthew McMean's punt. So here's a better snap than last. McMean's able to get away a nice punt. Mitchell fields it at about the 23. And he is brought down. The ball is out. It looked like Thompson was able to jump on it. Would have been a huge break there for the Rebels. Recovered by Trevor Hardy. Would have been a big momentum shift there if the Rebels were able to recover that one. The defense will come out here. Not great field position for the Warriors, but obviously we saw last time, stuck on their own 11-yard line. Reynolds and the Warriors just marched down the field for a touchdown. And, a really big possession here early in this game. Try to keep some hope alive and some momentum here if you're the Rebels. If Thompson scores here, down 3 scores in the first quarter, would be really demoralizing. So here's a give to Sam Reynolds. He's going to bounce it up into the middle for a gain of about 3 yards.
Sam Reynolds, one of the more electric backs I've ever seen in high school, and he's got speed that that's unheard of.
Reynolds not a huge guy either. Listed here as 5'9", 189. Obviously, a pretty big guy when it comes to strength, but height-wise, really not that big. But really, Cole, as you mentioned, he's an explosive back, and it really shows why he's headed to South Carolina next year to play some football and run track and field. So here's Harrell taken out of the gun. He drops back to pass. He's got Roberson over the middle. And that play is going to be good for a first down, finally brought down by Joseph Sullivan.
Vestavia looks to be getting some.
Looks like Thompson here going with a little up-tempo, hurry-up play. The Rebels trying to get a few substitutions in there. Rebels look like they're going to go with 3 safeties tonight. Will Cox, John Ross Ashley, and Joseph Sullivan all out there. So here's Harrell. Turns and gives it to Sam Reynolds. And Reynolds is going to march his way up. Pretty good gain there for about 6 yards. Finally brought down there by Bryce Littleton.
We've seen that when Reynolds touched the ball, you should expect at least 5 yards every time.
So here's Thompson again checking their play at the line as they've been doing most of the night so far. Here's Harrell relaying the play to his offensive line. It's a quick screen pass here out to number 2, that is Ryan Peppins. And that play is good for another Thompson first down, I believe. And yes, the chains are going to move, so a fresh set of downs coming for Thompson, and the tempo continues. So here they're out of the shotgun. Harrell's going to look across the field and a strike complete there. Number 10. That's Zacharias Johnson, the senior receiver, making his first catch of the night.
Connor Harrell really showing off his arm strength there. We saw a bullet right there. I mean, something I haven't seen in high school.
Yeah, he's really looking pretty confident back there tonight. Zipping passes through there. And Harrell is 5 of 5 tonight, 76 yards. Really making his presence felt right now through the air. He's got a great, second option, if you want to call it, Sam Reynolds in the backfield. And on cue, here he is. Going to turn one up the gut. And gain is good for about 7 yards. Thompson continues to play with pace here in that no huddle style of offense. Getting right up to the line, and this Rebels defense is starting to look pretty tired out there. Here's the play action. Harrell sits in there. He's looking deep for Peppins, and Peppins is open in the end zone. And it is another Thompson Warriors touchdown. And this one is starting to get out of hand before really it has even gotten started. Already a 20-point lead for the Warriors with an extra point up and coming.
Yeah, Harrell showing how he can pick apart a defense very well.
And as you mentioned, Cole, he's looking really, really confident back there. That ball was really well placed right over to Pepin's back shoulder, just right over the defender. Looking very, very confident back there. So here's the extra point. It's up, and it is good. Thompson leads this one 21-0. A minute and 24 remains here in the first quarter. A blowout looking like it's going to happen. The Rebels really going to need to do something here to make sure that they can remain in this ball game. We'll be right back with you in just.
This quarter is brought to you with limited commercial interruption, courtesy of Moe's Original Barbecue, a Southern soul food revival.
Thompson here leading the Rebels 21-0, a minute 24 remaining in this first quarter. This one already getting out of hand, and the Rebels offense really right now needs to put together a big drive to try to regain some momentum and give their defense a little bit of cushion. They say defense wins championships, but you cannot really win if you don't put points on the board, and that's what the Rebels need to do right here on this drive.
Absolutely. I see them, continuing with the pass game. They had a couple open passes last drive. Braden not able to complete. I'm sure with limited success, they'll still try to get some.
So here is the kick. This one is a wobbly one, but nonetheless, it is far into the end zone. And that'll be a touchback. So the Rebels will take over once more at the 25-yard line, looking to put together something good here to put some points on the board. Correction here, our stat man here in the booth, Mr. Stephen Gill, corrected me here that in high school a touchback is on the 20-yard line, so forgive me for that one there. So the Rebels will take over from the 20-yard line. It looks like it's going to be Brian Agee now as the back and Alex McKinstry the fullback. So little changes here in the backfield for the Rebels, and it is Agee getting the carry. Wow, and Agee finds a little bit of running room, but he is slammed to the ground. There, I believe that was number 7, Jeremiah Alexander.
Vestavia looking like they want to switch up the pace a little bit with their running back scheme. Agee, a little smaller than Teo, kind of getting thrown around out there.
And correction there, I just assumed that was Jeremiah Alexander. I believe that was Antonio Mitchell, number 3 there, making the tackle. So here's a 2nd and 7 for the Rebels. It's going to be a quick give to McKinstry. McKinstry finds a little bit of running room. He's going to get himself about 3 or 4 yards to shrink the third down to just a 3rd and short. And Tristan Woody there in on the tackle. So here is a 3rd and short for the Rebels and a much-needed conversion. Here's the turn. It's a quick give to McKinstry and nothing going, but there is a flag on the play. Might have been some movement pre-snap. So even if it's against the Rebels, which it is, it's a false start. You got to be thankful there because you were not picking up that first down right there. But nonetheless, that is going to make this 3rd and 3 a 3rd and 8. And that is going to bring us to the end of the first quarter, Rebel fans. Your score, Thompson 21, Vestavia Hills 0. When we come back, it will be a 3rd and 8 for the Rebels. And as I said, a much-needed conversion coming up.
This quarter is brought to you with limited commercial interruption, courtesy of Piggly Wiggly. Piggly Wiggly. Local sense forever.
Fans, here to begin the second quarter will be the Rebels with a 3rd and 8 upcoming and a much-needed conversion here to keep their offense on the field with a chance to get some points. The first quarter was all Thompson, returning the opening kickoff for a touchdown, followed by 2 great offensive drives that ended up in touchdowns. We saw Sam Reynolds making moves all over the field as the fullback. He has 6 carries for 65 yards and a touchdown. Connor Harrell, the quarterback for Thompson, marvelous. He was 6 of 6, 105 yards, and a touchdown as well. So here we are, 3rd and 8. It's Glenn out of the pistol. It's going to be a quick flip to Cole Turner. Cole Turner's got some running room, and Cole Turner, it's a first down. There is a flag there. We'll have to see what the call is, but a great play there by Cole Turner, making some moves outside. So a personal foul, a chop block assessed against the Rebels, and that's going to be a tough penalty, a tough pill to swallow there. If you're Coach Anderson, the Rebels, a great play design there. We see that with a lot of college teams there with a little jet sweep pass in motion. And it really some great athleticism and great speed shown by Cole Turner, something we haven't really gotten to see yet this year, to see him really utilized in open field in this game. So we get a little taste there, see what Cole Turner can do. But now it is a 3rd and a mile for the Rebels, so another conversion needed upcoming. So here's Glenn out of the pro formation. He's going to drop back to pass. It's going to be a little screen play there to Brian Agee. And Agee gets a couple yards before he's met there by multiple Thompson defenders. Really nowhere to go. So it is still going to be a 4th and long and a punt upcoming for the Rebels.
Yeah, the Rebels are really lacking in discipline in those couple downs, needing a 3rd down conversion and getting it, but coming back due to a penalty.
So McMeans is going to be standing at his own goal line to punt this one away, and not what you want when you have the big Thompson Warriors facing at you coming to block this punt. And you best believe that they're going to come after this one to try to block it. And indeed they do. McMeans is going to get it away, but it's not a great punt. This one's going to take a little bit of a roll, finally getting past midfield, but going to be down at the 46-yard line. And Thompson going to have great field position here for their 3rd drive of the game. And you know they're smelling blood, looking to go in for a 4th straight score to effectively put this one out of reach before the half is even reached.
Yeah, Thompson's offense is playing with great confidence right now, and Vestavia's defense, looking a little bit tired out there. They're looking to find some more energy throughout this game.
So here they come. Connor Harrell, Sam Reynolds been the highlights of the offense so far. So here's Harrell back to pass. It's a quick one. There to Peppins, and Peppins is going to make a couple moves. Brought down there by Leighton Reese, just shy of the 1st down marker, so it'll be a 2nd and short.
We look to be getting a good amount of pass rush, just barely not enough because he's getting the ball off just before we get to him, but it's really our rushing defense that we're lacking in.
And so trips down to the bottom of your screen for Thompson. They continue to go with this up-tempo, not wanting to slow down for anything. Here's the snap and the give to Sam Reynolds. Reynolds going to bounce around a little bit before he finds a bit of a hole, brought down there by number 70, Everett Thompson, but after a gain of a first down. So that'll move the chains for a fresh set of downs for the Warriors, and they continue to drive the football. So here is Thompson on the 40-yard line, heading into the end zone. It's Harrell back to pass. He's got Pepins over there just a little bit too far to his outside. Kamaliaka in coverage. Harrell's first incomplete pass of the night. This will be twins formation to both sides of the line here. J.B. Mitchell and Trey Roberson both playing the outside receivers. Zacharias Johnson and Pepins in on the slots. It's Harrell looking down the field. He's got it complete to J.B. Mitchell. And that is going to be a good gain there of about 9, just shy of the first down.
And if I'm Vestavia, I'm looking to adapt to a style of play that they're not used to seeing. With large passes over the field with a strong arm.
So here is the give to Sam Reynolds. Reynolds finds his way for about 5 yards before he is met. And Thompson's going to pick up yet another first down, continuing to move the ball without any interruption from the Rebels defense. So here's another give to Reynolds. Reynolds is met hard here. Brought down there by number 29, Cameron Liaka. And Cameron Liaka really been playing well as a cornerback for the Rebels, and he's really done a lot more than playing in pass coverage. You know, he's been running in there making some big tackles like he did just there. Really one of the bigger defensive backs the Rebels have had in the last few seasons. So here's a 2nd and 7 coming up here for the Warriors. Warriors continuing to get their plays from the sideline. It's trips formation here to the bottom of your screen. Harrell's looking that way. Harrell looks towards the end zone. And a back corner of the end zone pass just outside of the reach of Zacharias Johnson. So a 3rd down coming up for the Warriors, and I believe the first 3rd down of the night.
Yeah, looking for the back of the end zone there, we see a very confident quarterback, and it just overthrows it a little bit, but scary to see that.
You know, really well-placed ball there, just barely overshot him. So here we go. It's Harrell back to pass again. It's a screen here to Sam Reynolds. Reynolds makes a cut, but he's brought down just shy of the marker. But a couple penalty flags fly in on the tackle. We'll have to see what the call is there. So a holding assessed against Thompson and a big penalty there for Thompson. Finally bringing them back 10 yards. So the Rebels now have Thompson with a 3rd and 14. But we know with Sam Reynolds' athletic ability and Connor Harrell's arm, 3rd and 14 does not seem too detrimental to them.
Absolutely not. We've seen Harrell really, air the ball out tonight, and I would not be surprised if they did it again.
So let's see him. Got another trips formation at the bottom of your screen. J.B. Mitchell, Zacharias Johnson, Trey Roberson. It's a pass to J.B. Mitchell. Blockers are set up. And a good tackle there by Joseph Sullivan, bringing him down shy of the first down marker. But it looks like Thompson will keep their offense on the field here, looking to try to convert this first down and keep their drive moving. So a huge play coming up here in this ball game for the Rebels and for the Warriors, and a big momentum shift here, depending on the outcome of this play.
Thompson's been having their way tonight. I don't see why they wouldn't go for it.
So here it is, 4th and 6. Here's Harrell back to pass. He looks across the middle, and he's got Pepins for a first down. Brought down there by number 9, Jackson Ayers, getting his first little bit of action tonight. Haven't seen him much this season. But nonetheless, a tackle for him, but a Thompson first down also. So first and goal now for Thompson from the 10-yard line, looking to punch in yet another touchdown here to give to Sam Reynolds. Makes a couple cuts, and he's finally brought down there. Number 39, John Edwards.
Sam Reynolds is showing an unbelievable amount of agility here, making a cut on a dime.
So it's 2nd down and goal from the 5. The Rebels trying to get a stop here, keep themselves in this ball game. And it's an option out to the left side. A big hit, big collision. Look, they're going to mark him out at about the 4. Cam Liaka there on the hit.
First time seeing the option there. That's something I saw a lot against Oak Mountain. Not surprised the Rebels adapted that quickly.
Yeah, Trey Roberson there getting the option pitch. I'm sure the Rebels thought they were going to give the ball to Sam Reynolds to have most of the night. But Roberson getting on the option attack. There, as you mentioned, Cole, we saw a heavy dosage against Oak Mountain and Evan Smith. So 3rd down and goal for the Warriors. This time it is a give to Reynolds, and Reynolds is brought down. Little to no gain there on that play. Brought down by Bryce Littleton in a 4th and goal upcoming, and it looks like they're going to send the field goal unit out for this one. So a big defensive stop there for the Rebels to hold this lethal Warriors offense to just a field goal attempt at least. You know, the field goal up and coming. But as we've seen so far, their kicker, number 19, Trevor Hardy, has looked pretty solid, both on kickoffs and extra points.
Especially with a field goal this close, it's almost a PAT.
So here's the snap, the hold, the kick. This one is booming through the uprights, and the field goal is good. So 24-0, Thompson leads the Rebels now. But a big plus there for the Rebels to keep this Thompson Warriors offense out of the end zone, and especially given that it was a 1st and goal there. Rebels defense stepping up really well on that running attack. And now their offense is going to have to come out and really are going to need to put some points up here before the half. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go. We'll be back in just a second.
This quarter is brought to you with limited commercial interruption, courtesy of Moe's Original Barbecue, a Southern soul food revival. This quarter is brought to you with limited commercial interruption, courtesy of Piggly Wiggly. Piggly Wiggly, local sense forever.
Rebel fans, Thompson now set to kick off following their field goal, good, by Trevor Hardy. He is the one to kick. This one's going to be another booming kick into the back of the end zone. And here come the Rebels now out to the 20-yard line to begin this drive. So it looks like Pierce Hanna now tonight getting his first action in a while at tailback Here's Glenn back to pass. He's got an open Hastings Sykes downfield and a big pickup there for the Rebels on first down.
Yeah, probably the longest pass we've seen all game from Braden Glenn. Hastings Sykes open down the field. It's what you like to see, especially with the Rebels offense, kind of like checking out some new players, grasping at straws here.
Yeah, Braden looking really comfortable up to this point, already 4 of 6. Really looking like he's comfortable back there in the passing game, especially against this Thompson front 7. The time's ticking here, just under 4 to go. It's a give to Pierce Hanna, and Pierce had a hole, but he is brought down quickly there by number 2, Carson Haywood, the man who returned the opening kick for a touchdown.
Vestavia is really looking at their bigger guys to step up tonight. Pierce Hanna, Landon Neese, and Alex McKinstry, all very large guys, kind of the power back type position.
Yeah, Cole, as you mentioned, Pierce Hanna, a big, powerful runner. This Thompson defense, got some big, powerful guys. So power on power, we'll see who's going to win that battle. So here's Glenn, a play action. And a good pass over the middle to Cole Turner. Great pass there from Braden Glenn, looking very, very confident right now. Cole Turner, a big pickup there, close to 20 yards on the gain, and a first down for the Rebels.
Yeah, with just 2 touches, we're seeing Cole Turner more utilized than I've seen him in a while.
Yeah, looking really nice out there. He's one of the bigger receivers we have, and obviously more athletic. His brother Nolan Turner playing defensive back up at Clemson. So athleticism runs in his family, not to mention his dad, Kevin Turner, a longtime NFL player and a star fullback at Alabama back in the day. So here's the give to Pierce Hanna. Hanna finds a little bit of running room, muscles his way forward for about 5 yards. Finally brought down there by number 12, Jax Van Zant. So 2.5 to go here in this half, and the Rebels really want to punch this one in the end zone before this half ends, especially knowing they're going to get the ball to begin the second half. There's Glenn checking at the line. AG is now in as the running back. They give us to Landon Neese, and Neese finds a little bit of running room. His gain might be good for a first down. Brought down by Tristan Woody, the senior linebacker. And that is going to be good for a first down. So the Rebels beginning to drive here. Now we're under 2 minutes to go. They're going to have to pick up the tempo here a little bit if they're going to want to get this one in the end zone.
Absolutely. Touching the fullback for the first time I've seen in a while, they're definitely switching up with their play calling.
So twins at the bottom of your screen. It's Cole Turner and Charlie Hughes. AG in as the back. It's going to be a play action to AG. Across the middle, it's Charlie Hughes. And a big pickup again for the Rebels. They are now inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal from the 9.
The Rebels starting to hit their stride in the passing game. We're loving it up here. Not seeing that for a long time.
Yeah, Braden Glenn, don't want to jinx it, but he has played a fantastic ball game tonight. Really back there, having a lot of time. His offensive line doing really well, giving him time to deliver great passes, and he's throwing a couple strikes over the middle. So 1:20 here remaining in the half. Rebels rush up to the line here to give to Bryant Agee. Agee tries to bounce it upside. Agee's into the end zone. Touchdown, Rebels.
Yeah, Agee coming in for his first touch in a while. He gets to that outside and he bounces around a little bit. We really see his agility and speed there getting past those Thompson defenders.
And a fantastic drive there for the Rebels. Finally starting to gain some confidence there, especially with Braden Glenn back there just throwing balls all across the place, zipping them across the middle, zipping them to the outside. They're starting to look like they've got some more confidence here. And let's see if that can continue into the second half. So McMains here is on for the extra point. He's been perfect up to this point on his extra points. And he misses this one. It's a little jinx there on my part, but McMains missing his first of the season, something that is rare. 24-6, Thompson leads this one. Rebels punching one in. Kickoff coming up when we return.
Vestavia football is presented by Moe's Original Barbecue, a Southern soul food revival, and brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly, local sense forever. Baumhauer's Victory Grill, you are legendary. St. Vincent's Health System, personalized care when and where you need it. Jimmy John's, Vestavia Hills, Freaky Fast Gourmet Sandwiches. D1 Birmingham, Vestavia Hills, Train Different. Bryant Bank, Andrews Sports Medicine, ATI, Mandalucason, Remax, Yanoski Orthodontics, Farmers Insurance, the Stacio Shields Agency, Dr. Melanie Petro, and Progress Bank.
The Rebels with a big score there right before the half. Big drive there. Braden Glenn completing a lot of passes. Bryant Agee finally punching it into the end zone. The Rebels defense really needs to step up here and hold this Thompson offense, knowing they get the ball to begin the second half, looking to close the gap. So it means as a squib kick, hopefully trying to negate a return. And it's a big return there from number 3, Antonio Mitchell, bringing it out across the 50-yard line, and not what you want if you're Coach Anderson the Rebels. A minute to go, and you know it's a lethal Thompson offense. They've got great field position here with plenty of time, especially having 3 timeouts in your back pocket.
Yeah, last time Thompson starting up around this spot, still the Rebels held them to a field goal, but still you don't want to give Thompson any help.
So here is Harrell and the Warriors checking out the line, as they do just about every play. Trips to the bottom of your screen. Here's Harrell. It's a quick screen to J.B. Mitchell. Mitchell's got some blockers in front of him, and Mitchell's going to bring this one to about the 46-yard line. Good for a gain of about 8, and it'll be a 2nd and 2 upcoming. The clock continues to tick here. Thompson not going to elect to take a timeout. Here's a pass. He's looking towards the outside and right through Trey Roberson's hands. A pretty sure receiver there. Just thinking about the run before he secures the catch. It's going to be a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Absolutely. Trey Roberson maybe hearing some footsteps out there with the corner behind him.
So a big down coming up for both teams here. If you're the Rebels, I think you got to be thinking this is 4-down territory for the Warriors, not wanting to punt with this little time left, and the Warriors offense and their defense knowing the Rebels don't have this just high-paced style of offense the Warriors do to punch it in the end zone with just under half a minute to go. So here's the quick give to Peppins. Peppins has the outside, and a big block there by Sam Reynolds, and Peppins takes a big gain, but there is some flags coming back where the block was, and Warriors already throwing their hands up. Looks like it's Trey Roberson who thinks it might be on him. Flag coming in at the 35-yard line. This is a big call here. Let's see what the man with the white hat has to say about this one. A holding, some laundry on the field for the Warriors, and that's going to back them up 10 yards. Huge penalty there for Thompson as they had a big gain on that little pitch pass. And that's going to put them out of field goal range with 24 seconds remaining. So just going to bring that back 10 yards from the spot of the penalty. So it's going to remain 3rd and 2. 24 seconds remain in the half. Harrell's going to give the ball to Sam Reynolds, and Reynolds got nothing going, maybe a 1st down, but some excellent defense there by the Rebels' front 7. Bryce Littleton was in there at the bottom of that pile on the tackle.
Yeah, the Rebels kind of adapting to the Reynolds run there. They're definitely clogged up some holes better and got some guys through.
It looks like Thompson is going to call a timeout here with 3 seconds remaining. Looks like they might heave this one to the end zone. No gain on that last play. A great play, by Bryce Littleton and the rest of the Rebels' front 7 to blow that one up. So we should expect a prevent defense here for the Rebels, and obviously a heave to the end zone from Connor Harrell. And he'll probably look to Trey Roberson or J.B. Mitchell, 2 of the taller receivers, both standing at 6'2". But nonetheless, whoever's open, I think at this point he's going to throw it to. And we've seen some dudes get open. Ryan Peppins, he's only 5'7". We saw him a little shifty move on that second score on the Thompson offense. Would be the third score overall in that first quarter, making a nice move from the slot to get open.
We've seen a lot of speed and agility from this team, and nothing but that. It's really been their plan of attack.
So Rebel fans, just to let you know, the SGA at Vestavia Hills High School has selected Amelia Center from Children's Hospital as their fall charity. Amelia Center was created by the Elliott family, who had their daughter Amelia Elliott in school at Vestavia Hills High School. She was killed in a tragic accident at Camp Cosby the summer before her senior year. We'll give you more information on that coming up. So here are the Warriors. 4 seconds left in the half. And a legal procedure is going to be called on the Warriors. That'll back them up. So Connor Harrell's going to have to throw that ball 5 yards further if they want to have a touchdown.
And not sure the strength of this QB's arm, but might have to see some receivers do a little extra here.
So here's Harrell. He's going to throw a little screen pass to J.B. Mitchell. And Mitchell's going to be brought down. Yes, he is brought down at the 30-yard line by the Rebels. And they'll take it to the half. Cheatham in there on the tackle. They'll take it to the half. Thompson up 24. We saw a lethal Thompson offense. Connor Harrell, 12 of 15, 161 yards and a touchdown. Sam Reynolds, 12 rushes, 84 yards already, and a touchdown for him. Thompson's offenses look really nice. They had that opening kickoff return. But not to mention Braden Glenn, really playing an exceptional ball game tonight for the Rebels. He's 6 of 8, 77 yards. No touchdowns yet for him. Bryant Agee punched that touchdown in on the Rebels' last drive. So the Rebels going to the half, a little bit of momentum there, getting a stop and a touchdown there. They'll take the ball to begin the second half when we return.
This quarter is brought to you with limited commercial interruption, courtesy of Piggly Wiggly. Piggly Wiggly, local sense forever. The Rebel Halftime Report, presented by Manda Lucasen Remax. The Rebel Halftime Report, presented by Mandalucasen Remax. Vestavia football is presented by Moe's Original Barbecue, a Southern soul food revival, and brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly, local sense forever. Baumhauer's Victory Grill, you are legendary. St. Vincent's Health System, personalized care when and where you need it. Jimmy John's, Vestavia Hills, freaky fast gourmet sandwiches. D1 Birmingham, Vestavia Hills, train different. Bryant Bank, Andrews Sports Medicine, ATI, Mandalucasen, Remax, Yanoski Orthodontics, Farmers Insurance, the Stacio Shields Agency, Dr. Melanie Petro, and Progress Bank. This quarter is brought to you with limited commercial interruption, courtesy of Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Baumhauer's, you are legendary.
To the second half of action here from Thompson High School. The Warriors are leading the Rebels right now 24-6. Warriors got out to a really, really hot start, returning the opening kickoff of the game for a touchdown, and then proceeding to score on the next two drives for touchdowns. Field goal followed, but the Rebels made a big splash there at the end with the passing game, especially Braden Glenn really showing off his arm tonight. He's 6 of 8, 77 yards, and Brian Agee punched in a touchdown on the Rebels' best drive, their last drive, and they will get the ball to begin the second half. And before we begin the second half, Rebels, I wanted to give you a little bit more background information on the SGA's fall charity this year, the Amelia Center. The vision for the Amelia Center is that all grieving parents, children, and families in the greater Birmingham region have access to a caring, compassionate environment that fosters hope and healing. The Amelia Center, as I mentioned, is a counseling service run there by Children's Hospital. It provides professional counseling for children ages 5 and above and teens grieving the death of a parent, grandparent, sibling, or someone who is anyone who is close to them. And I wanted to give you a little bit more information on how you can help us raise money. We have something called Homecoming Kings. We nominate a boy from each grade. So our freshman Homecoming King is Jack Davis, sophomore King Andrew Shamella, junior King Daniel Wu, our senior King, my partner Cole Spain, and our band's King Dean Little. So you can all contact them with ways to raise money for the Amelia Center, and that is kind of their job, to find fun and innovative ways to help raise money for them. So please reach out to the SGA. Please reach out to them with more information. So here we are getting set to begin this second half. Thompson set to kick off. Here's the kick. It's a low one. It's going to be muffed by McKinstry at the 10. He's going to pick it up. Good block there from Teo Crawford. McKinstry steamrolling his way towards the 25, and that's where they're going to blow this one dead. It's a pretty good return by McKinstry after fumbling the ball. 20 for a touchback. A lot. Brian Agee really showing off his legs, too, with a touchdown. It'll be Teo Crawford beginning the game as the tailback, Landon Neese as the fullback. So here's Glenn checking at the line. Here's a give to Neese. Neese, a spin move. And Neese gets into the open field, picking up 7 yards before he's finally brought down there.
Pressing that B button.
Yeah, very, very nice move there from Landon Neese, and a good start to the second half for the Rebels. They're going to send the Twins receivers, Knox Romeo and Charlie Hughes, to the bottom of your screen. Rebels check in at the line once more. It's going to be a sneak for Braden Glenn. Glenn fighting his way towards the first down marker. They're going to spot him on the first down marker, and that is going to move the chains. So a fresh set of downs to the Rebels on 2 plays and a positive start to this second half.
The Rebels looking a little more confident out there second half, kind of getting steamrolled first quarter and, improving second quarter, but we're really looking to see how they improve on their game second half.
Look to see the Rebels go to the air here pretty soon. Glenn really confident back there right now. Want to keep his confidence going and even try to increase it a little bit more, especially down 3 scores right now. It's right on cue here as Glenn looks to Turner. It's tight coverage, but Turner is able to haul it in. Brought down quickly there by Gavin.
Really seeing some action out here tonight. We don't see that a lot. We'd honestly like to see it more.
So here it is, 2nd and 5 for the Rebels. Thompson's defense looking a little bit jumbled out there. Alexander misses a tackle. Brought down there by number 19, Trevor Hardy. So the Rebels offense getting a little drive going right here. Running the ball nicely and picking up a couple yards through the air. And here we go.
Yeah, Teo breaking a tackle in the open field there. It's something we'd like to see a lot more of here second half.
As the back, Glenn under center, Neese behind him. It's a play action here. Glenn's going to roll it. He's going to set his feet. He's got Turner downfield. And just below Cole Turner. Great effort there laying out for that ball. And really a pretty well-placed pass for Braden Glenn, having 2 receivers just draped over Cole Turner. Put it in the spot where only Cole Turner could go get that ball.
Yeah, a lot of effort shown on that play. Wish you could come up with it, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
So it's 2nd and 10 now. And roughing the passer assessed against Thompson. Did not even see the penalty flag in there. It's a huge penalty there. Going to bring the Rebels up 15 extra yards. And this drive is starting to look pretty positive. So it looks like the Rebels are going to try to continue to push this one, staying in that Twins formation. There's Glenn making another check at the line. It's a give to Teo Crawford running to the weak side. And a flag coming in there. Teo Crawford picks up about 4 yards on the carry and brought down by Kamarion Hambright. But holding is assessed against the Rebels. So that roughing the passer penalty, the net yardage there, only going to be 5 yards gain for the Rebels. So this one will back them up all the way to the 46. Still in enemy territory, though.
The Rebels, giving Teo Crawford a little more action now. He seemed to do pretty well, get a lot of positive yardage. We'd like to see more of that from him.
Yeah, coming off a pretty big game against Tuscaloosa County, ran for almost 100 yards in that one. So here's Glenn out of the pro set, and he's to his left, Teo behind him. And looks like Dawson Ray might have jumped quickly there. Either him or, that's Hastings Sykes, the tight end. So going to back them up 5 yards, and that is going to equalize that roughing the passer penalty. So the Rebels come right back to where they started.
Rebels with a great start offensively this half, but we really see them being a little undisciplined here with their penalties.
The Rebels like to play a little bit slower, as we've seen, but I gotta be honest. With this slow style of play, they're going to have to modify it a little bit if they're going to want a chance to come back in this ball game. Already under 9 minutes here in the third quarter. So here's Glenn looking to pass again. He's going to evade the pocket, and Glenn's just going to try to scramble and pick up a few yards with his legs. And a huge blindside block there. I believe that was Knox Romeo. Sideline up over there for the Rebels. Knox Romeo, not a huge guy, just knocking his man right out of bounds.
That's what you like to see from them shorter guys out there, getting their time to shine.
And it's going to be a penalty assessed against the Warriors. They didn't quite get the call there. The defensive holding call. So an interesting call there. None of the Warriors fans seem to like it. I think they might have wanted a penalty on Knox Romeo there for that hit.
This looking like our 4th first down in a row.
Yeah, so here's the give to Crawford. Crawford's tripped up. He's going to stay on his feet, get an extra few yards. Tristan Woody in the backfield to initially get the hit. Tristan Woody and Hoke Smith getting into it there. Wouldn't really want to go up against Hoke Smith if I'm Tristan Woody. A little bit of a size disadvantage there. Now, Tristan Woody, I've had the pleasure of playing against him both youth football and baseball. He is a bigger guy physically, but Hoke Smith, not a guy you're going to want to mess with. As I mentioned early in the season, he hit his bench max at 300. It's not something I want to mess with.
It doesn't get much bigger than Hoke Smith.
So here are the Rebels' 2nd down. Glenn's back to pass. He's got Hughes over there in the flats. And a nice pickup there for Braden Glenn and Charlie Hughes, brought down there by Karsten Haywood.
Yeah, we see a solid out route there, which is what the Rebels have usually been working with pass-wise. But this game, they kind of changed it up a little bit and have been going over the middle a good bit.
Yeah, a nice little shake up there, as you mentioned, Cole, going against what they normally do and then going back to what they do to keep the defense off guard. Really some nice play calling here, Coach Anderson, Coach Queen.
Yeah, the Rebels are really getting creative out here, mixing up their play calling.
So here it is, a 3rd and 7. Rebels need to convert this one, try to keep the drive alive, put some points up on the board. It's Glenn back to pass again. He's got an open receiver. It's Hastings Sykes. Hastings Sykes into the red zone. And a big pickup there on 3rd down for Braden Glenn and Hastings Sykes. and the Rebels are driving right now.
Yeah, hitting that left side again. You know, that seems to be where the defense is weakest. I feel like that's where we've been going all night.
So a big pickup there by Hastings Sykes, kind of redeeming himself there for that last false start penalty that he got. So Teo Crawford is going to remain in the game as the tailback, and it's going to be a give to him. And Woody comes in there to make a big play in the backfield, making sure he brings Crawford to the ground on that one.
And we're really liking what we see passing-wise. You almost wonder why we don't do it more often. With Braden Glenn being able to do this against Thompson, you would think that he'd be able to do even better against other teams.
For sure. You know, kind of interesting. I haven't seen a lot of Brian Agee recently. He had the big pickup there. That last Rebels drive for that touchdown. Here's the give to Neese. Nothing going there. Braden Glenn got hit really late.
Not really what kind of play calling you want to see after a hot start like that to the red zone, but
you expect to see a pass here, most likely here. You know, as you mentioned, 3rd and 10 now, and we've seen a lot of open plays on the passing game. Great Glenn, we've seen his legs too. If he has a little bit of space, look for him to make some plays and get out there and run. So here it is, the pass play. It's Cole Turner on a fade. And Turner, he's going to haul this one in.
Has the ball.
And they're going to call this one incomplete. A heck of a grab by Cole Turner. Thought it could have been a little bit of pass interference there. They're not going to call a penalty. And the field goal unit for the Rebels is going to come on. That's one thing that is not beneficial in high school. You get no challenges there. I would have expected, a challenge that's a college or pro game to see if he got that foot down. Honestly, at a nice facility like Thompson, I'm surprised they don't have the pylon cams, so check that one out. So here's McMeans, dead on here for this 30-yard field goal. Here's the kick. It is up. He's going to split the uprights on that one. Matthew McMeans, a nice kick there. Going to make the score now 24-9, making it a 2-score game now. So the Rebels defense going to have to come out here and make a big stop.
This quarter is brought to you with limited commercial interruption, courtesy of Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Baumhauer's, you are legendary. Vestavia football is presented by Moe's Original Barbecue, a Southern soul food revival, and brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly, local sense forever. Baumhauer's Victory Grill, you are legendary. St. Vincent's Health System, personalized care when and where you need it. Jimmy John's, Vestavia Hills, freaky fast gourmet sandwiches. D1 Birmingham, Vestavia Hills, train different. Bryant Bank, Andrews Sports Medicine, ATI, Mandalucason, Remax, Yanoski Orthodontics, Farmers Insurance, the Stacio Shields Agency, Dr. Melanie Petro, and Progress Bank.
Welcome back, Rebel fans. Here was the kick here from Matthew McMeans. It's a high, short one trying to prevent any kind of return. Be fielded at the 10 by Carson Haywood. Haywood's got the outside. That's a hold. Someone just got tackled out there with the Rebels. That wasn't even close. Cam Liaka just got brought down to the ground like this was a run on a linebacker or something. So this play is coming back. Just to update you fans real quick, all you NBA fans, I'm sure, wanted to keep tabs on the NBA Finals while watching this game. The Lakers leading 22-14, beating the Heat here. 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. The Heat, obviously without center Bam Adebayo tonight, suffered an injury in Wednesday night's game. in their loss to the Lakers. So the Heat really, trying to come back and win without some key guys in tonight's game. So we'll keep you updated on that game as this one goes along. So Thompson pinned it deep back in their own territory after that holding penalty. They're going to start this drive on the 8-yard line. But we know with this lethal Thompson offense, they don't worry about field position whatsoever. It's going to be a quick give to Sam Reynolds. And Sam Reynolds, a big run to start this drive. Get out to about the 15-yard line. Brought down there by John Edwards. So second and short upcoming for the Warriors. So here's Harrell checking the play at the line. Here's the snap to give to Gamecock commit Reynolds. And Reynolds is met at the line, going nowhere. The big Rebels front making their presence felt. And a flag is flying late. Might have been an unsportsmanlike call on someone. It looks like they're talking to the Thompson team. Refs are. This one might be assessed against them. So a personal foul assessed against Thompson. They're just shooting themselves in the foot right now with penalties, just pinning themselves against their own goal line, and not what you want to see if you're Thompson coming out of the half. Giving up a pretty good Rebels drive, even though it was a field goal. Now tons of penalties are just really hurting them right now.
Absolutely, and even with their running back Sam Reynolds, as of late he has been a little stopped up. Hasn't been as much of a factor as he was at the beginning of the game. Yeah, Cole, you mentioned early on his tremendous athleticism, which he just has God-given talent there. But, with a smaller guy, he needs some space to work with that. When you're up against this Rebels front, like we just saw, when you got nowhere to go, you really can't use that athleticism. So, look for the Rebels to keep really pursuing him with multiple people, trying to limit his shiftiness. So we are 3rd and 11 now for Thompson. Needing a stop here for the Rebels. And it's a quick screen pass out, but not going to be good for anything. Just a couple yards, if anything. And the Rebels defense is going to get off the field on a big 3 and out. Not sure who it was who got back there, but Connor Harrell got lit up. You could see Josh Cheatham getting real excited on the defensive side. He was real pumped they could make that stop.
So here is the punt upcoming, and if you're the Rebels, I'm expecting them to bring some pressure. Charlie Hughes now back to receive this punt. We've seen him and Joseph Sullivan rotating an awful lot back there. So Rebels coming after this one. It's a low punt. Hughes is just going to let this one roll. A bit of a favorable Warriors bounce, but not before it is going to be down at the 48-yard line, and the Rebels with great field position to start this next drive.
Yeah, the Rebels, you'll take that field position any day you can. And with the Rebels being so electric on offense right now, I don't see much of a problem for them here.
Trotting back out on the field is a confident quarterback in Braden Glenn, really playing a tremendous ball game tonight. He's thrown for over 100 yards tonight on 9 completions. Really just looking like the quarterback we all know him has. Hasn't had a great season up to this point, but really making his presence felt tonight. So Bryant Agee is in there at tailback. Glenn is back to pass. It's a quick screen pass to Hughes. He looked like he got tripped up there. Complete. I think he's going to lose a yard, man. If he had not lost his feet, he had a lot of green in front of him. So it'll be a 2nd and 11 upcoming for the Rebels. So Agee in there behind Neese behind Glenn. Here's a play action to Agee. Oh, it's a wide open Hastings Sykes. Hastings got some space. And big Hastings Sykes picks up a good gain there, and the Rebels offense is clicking right now.
Hastings Sykes has really been a difference maker this game. He's a very open receiver and with these amazing cornerbacks and linebackers out here. He's been a real difference maker.
Yeah, the Rebels really fooling the Warriors right now. The Rebels obviously know, and the Warriors know that they've got some athletes on defense. Of course, Jeremiah Alexander, Hastings Sykes, they're faking a block, then leaking out to make a catch. Some great play design from Coach Queen and the Rebels. So here's a give to AG. AG's got some space around the corner. And might have a big collision there. Brian Agee slowly getting up. Brought down there by number 12, Jax Van Zant. Huge hit from him, but the Rebels are going to pick up another first down. Agee slowly hobbling off the field. A huge collision there as he's getting dragged down and then got hit with a blow to the head.
We hope he's just a little roughed up right now and nothing serious.
So Crawford comes back in as the tailback behind Neese. Here's Glenn checking at his play at the line. Here's the gift to Teo Crawford. Crawford finds a hole. Crawford's going to drag a couple of defenders. It's a big run there by Teo Crawford, picking up 8 yards on the carry.
Yeah, like you said, MJ, Crawford found a great hole there, and he almost burst through. A couple of defenders dragged on, but he dragged along with him.
So just under 2 to go in the third quarter. 24-9, the Warriors lead, but the Rebels are threatening here inside the red zone. There's a cut from Teo Crawford, picking up about 5 yards there on the run, and good for a first down. It looked like they're like the Thompson coaches motioning over. I think they've figured out a little something the Rebels are trying to do when checking at the line. Looked like they were motioning for a lot of their players to move over. So here's a play action pass. He's got Neese in the flats and just a little bit to the outside. A little bit of a far pass there from Glenn. So here comes a second and goal from the 9, excuse me. Rebels needing a touchdown here. Really cannot settle for anything less here. Almost here at the end of the third quarter. So here's the give to Teo. Crawford nowhere to go. Looked like number 18 there, and on the tackle, Seth Hampton, Jeremiah Alexander running in to get a little bit in on that tackle as well. So a third down coming for the Rebels and a needed score here. I got to believe this is 4-down territory, especially going up against a team who is much better than you are. Got really nothing to lose.
Absolutely, This, like you said earlier, MJ, is truly a David and Goliath story, and we see David, pulling back that slingshot. We'll see how he releases it.
So here we are, last play of the third quarter. It's Glenn. It's a fade route to Cole Turner, and Cole Turner goes up and just drops the ball. But here comes a flag, and that one's going to be pass interference. Underthrew that ball just a smidge, but might have gotten a little benefit there from the pass interference. But great job there from Turner trying to go up there and high point the ball. And that's going to be a huge costly penalty against Thompson. So you're going to put this ball up inside the 5-yard line on the 4. And it will be a repeated third down here. Last play of the quarter coming. A fast-moving game here. Only 8:40 here, just an hour and 40 minutes into this one. We are almost at the fourth quarter. A lot of running, obviously, from the Rebels. And, Thompson keeping a lot of their plays in the boundary. Here's a sneak play. Braden Glenn just going to muster his way over for a few yards. So this will be a 4th and goal upcoming on about the 2-yard line. when we return. That is the end of the third quarter. Your score.
This quarter is brought to you with limited commercial interruption, courtesy of St. Vincent's Health Systems. Personalized care when and where you need it. Vestavia football is presented by Moe's Original Barbecue, a Southern soul food revival, and brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly, local sense forever. Baumhauer's Victory Grill, you are legendary. St. Vincent's Health System, personalized care when and where you need it. Jimmy John's, Vestavia Hills, freaky fast gourmet sandwiches. D1 Birmingham, Vestavia Hills, train different. Bryant Bank, Andrews Sports Medicine, ATI, Mandalucason, Remax, Yanoski Orthodontics, Farmers Insurance, the Stacio Shields Agency, Dr. Melanie Petro, and Progress Bank.
Fans, a crucial play coming up here. Rebels down 24-9, but it is 4th and goal on the Thompson 2. And the Rebel offense is making their way back onto the field. Look on, they're going to try to punch this one in to score a touchdown. Probably the biggest play of the ball game here.
Yeah, you'd like to see the Rebels be aggressive like they have been, but a lot of times when they come to the red zone, they become a little more passive.
Glenn checking at the line. Here's the play. It's a toss sweep to Neese.
Oh, my God, not even close.
And Neese did not quite get there. Thompson making a huge stop there on 4th down. Brought down there. A big tackle by Seth Hampton. So the Rebels' tremendous drive ends with a stop on the 1-yard line.
Yeah, that's just something you hate to see. Work all the way down the field just for a stop on the 1.
Tough break there. So here's Thompson pinned on their own 1. Rebels trying to bring some pressure. It's Connor Harrell throwing out. That pass is complete on the far sideline there to Trey Roberson. Roberson getting up a little slow. Looks like he's limping a little bit. Thompson looking to try to milk the clock a little bit here in this 4th quarter. So here's the give to Reynolds. Reynolds trying to bounce to the outside. Good pursuit there from all the Rebels. A flag is in the backfield, and Sam Reynolds refusing to go down. Looks like this one's going to be holding, and it's probably going to come back. Thompson really shooting themselves in the foot right now with penalties.
Absolutely. We've consistently seen that with the Reynolds run, you know, they really have been holding a solid bit, sometimes getting called, sometimes not.
So what the man with the white hat has to say about this one. He is going to say holding, so this is going to back the Warriors up once again deep into their own territory. Deeper than they already are. They are very deep already. So this will be spotted here on the 5. It'll be a 2nd and 6, excuse me. So clock continues to move here. 11 minutes remain in this one. There's Harrell passing on his own end zone. He's got Roberson down the field. And a huge pitch and catch there to Trey Roberson all the way down to the 50. With Skylar McGee in coverage. And Roberson's getting up limping hard. So a pretty demoralizing play to the Rebels defense. Had them back deep in their own territory. But Connor Harrell just showing off his arm strength, finding one downfield. The Rebels going to try to bring some pressure. Sam Reynolds finds a big hole. Joseph Sullivan finally tripping him up as the last man, but Reynolds is going to get a good gain of 10 there on a first down.
Yeah, the Rebels usually keeping a tight restraint on this offense as of recently has really let them come down.
So Rebels really needing a big stop here, and Thompson needing a score to try to end this one. Here's Harrell back to pass. He's got Pepins downfield, no one in coverage. And Pepins just burned Kamaliaka there on the outside for a touchdown, showing off his quickness.
It's another testimony to the speed and agility of this offense. They got receivers that burn. They got running backs that juke. I mean, they really have it all on offense here.
Man, and a really tough sequence of events for the Rebels. Had a touchdown opportunity to bring them within one score of this game, failed to do so, and then within 5 plays, the Warriors coming down with a big passing attack, finding it into the end zone. So here's the extra point. It is up and good, as it has been every time. 31-9, Thompson now leads the Rebels, so just a huge swing there in events. The Rebels going from possibly down 1 score to now down 3. It's going to be tough to come back now, just under 10 to go.
Vestavia football is presented by Moe's Original Barbecue, a Southern soul food revival, and brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly, local sense forever. Baumhauer's Victory Grill, you are legendary. St. Vincent's Health System, personalized care when and where you need it. Jimmy John's, Vestavia Hills, freaky fast gourmet sandwiches. D1 Birmingham, Vestavia Hills, train different. Bryant Bank, Andrews Sports Medicine, ATI, Mandalucason, Remax, Yanoski Orthodontics, Farmers Insurance, the Stacy
On the kick. So the Rebels are going to bring this one out to the 20. And trying to get something going. The offense has really been clicking here. But, just needing to finally, finish the drives and punch them in the end zone. Red zone offense has not been great tonight, and that's what's going to need to step up and improve if the Rebels want any chance in this one. So here's the toss sweep to Teo Crawford. Teo tries to find a hole. Teo picks up a gain of about 5 yards before he's brought down there by number 9, Nathan Riddle.
Yeah, and to what you said earlier, MJ, the red zone offense really has been lacking a lack of aggression, really, and just basic play calling.
So here come out the Rebels back out. Just under 9:20 to go in the game. Here's Glenn. It's a give to Neese. And nothing really going as Neese is met quickly at the line there by Tristan Woody, the linebacker. He has been all over the place tonight for the Warriors. So a third down here for the Rebels and a much-needed conversion to try to keep this going. Got to believe this is 4-down territory if you want to have any hope and chance to win this one. Here's the give to Crawford, and Crawford's got plenty of space in front of him. Big run there for Teo Crawford. Oh, but the ball's on the deck. And Thompson is going to look to have recovered it, and it is going to be called a first down for Thompson, I believe. No, excuse me. The head referee is going to mark him down, and the chains are going to continue to move. So Rebels first down, big run there for Teo Crawford.
a little confusion out on the field there, but it looked like Teo was down well before the ball came out.
The Rebels still have life in this one. Knox Remio, the receiver at the bottom of your screen. Cole Turner to the top. He's Braden. He's looking Turner's way. This one's a lofty pass up in the air. And it looks like this one is going to be incomplete as Turner hold it in out of bounds. So second down coming up here. So here comes Charlie Hughes running this play in for the Rebels. So back in the pro set, Crawford behind Glenn, Neese to his left. Glenn rolls out of the pocket, and receiver Hastings Sykes was getting tugged on there. Antonio Mitchell in coverage there really just draped all over Hastings Sykes, really not allowing Hastings to get his hands up to make that catch, but no flag thrown.
Absolutely like a missed call there.
So it's a 3rd and 10 now for the Rebels, and obviously a passing down coming up. Would expect to see something towards the middle to Cole Turner, because that's usually seen as the right play, but Cole Turner is not in the ball game. It's Hughes and Romeo. We expect something over the middle here. So it's going to go out to the sideline, and Hughes just fell down. Play was looking to him. And Coach Anderson's going to send the punt unit on to punt this one away. So Trey Roberson, we saw him limping earlier in the game, but he is back there to return the punt. So here's the snap. It's a good snap. McMeans gets it away. Bit of a wobbly punt, and it's not going to take a favorable bounce for the Rebels. Finally downed at the 28 by Trey Saunders. So with 7.5 minutes remaining in this one, Thompson holds a 22-point lead, 31-9 on the Rebels. The Rebels cannot afford to give up any more points if they want to have a chance in this one. They really need a turnover here to try to get some good field position. So here's Harrell giving the ball to Sam Reynolds. And Reynolds is tripped up and brought down there by Bryce Littleton right at the line of scrimmage. So a big start there for the Rebels.
Yeah, Bryce looked to have been, stopping the run a solid amount today.
So here's Thompson once more checking at the line. Here's Harrell out of the gun. He's going to make a quick pass over there to Peppins. And Peppins turns on the burners. Peppins cuts across field. Finally brought down at the opposing 40 by Will Cox. But that was a big gain there for number 2, Ryan Peppins, who's had a big night receiving for Thompson.
Yeah, Peppins seeming to have just incredible speed that's just taken over this game.
Yeah, Peppins there, 7 catches on 8 attempts. He's got 97 yards and 2 touchdowns. Big night for him so far. Here's the give to Reynolds. Reynolds is brought down by Michael Lawrence, but it looks like that's either going to be face mask or something else as the flag was thrown right near the tackle. And it is a face mask attempts against Michael Lawrence, so that's going to move the Warriors up 15 yards closer to their end zone.
The Rebels are a little bit falling apart here. Something you hate to see this late in the game.
The clock continues to move just over halfway through this quarter. And Reynolds, a quick give here. He's got a lot of room in front of him. And Sam Reynolds goes seemingly untouched into the end zone. And the Warriors finally putting the nail in the coffin here, scoring another touchdown. And this one is seemingly getting a little bit out of hand at this point. And this high-paced style of offense the Warriors play, they can change games very quickly, seemingly, just on game time, 6 minutes ago, the beginning of this quarter, the Rebels were about to score to make this a one-possession game. Now, Thompson leads this one by a total of 29 points, 38-9, with 5:42 remaining in this one. And this one is looks pretty much to be over. But we've seen crazier things happen. Hardy runs up to this one and boots it deep as he's been doing all night. Fielded by McKinstry in the end zone. So 5:42 to go, and the Rebels offense trying to make one last splash to try to get their team in a position to make some sort of comeback.
Yeah, I feel like the mindset should sort of be to play as aggressive as possible, considering this game is basically over.
Yeah, and Cole, as we mentioned early on, there's nothing to lose. Thompson, number 16 in the country, we've hung with them, pretty well up until the last few drives. So be as aggressive as possible and just see what you got. Here's the give to Agee. Good to see him back in the game, but immediately met there by two Thompson players. It's number 9, Nathan Riddle, and number 12, Jax Van Zant, been in there a lot tonight. So Cole Turner checks out of the game, knocks Romeo in for him. Him and Charlie Hughes, top of your screen in the Twins formation. And here's a play action to Agee. Glenn's going to roll out on the bootleg. He looks downfield to Knox Romeo, and Romeo hauls one in. That's a big pass and catch there. That is a big pickup and a first down for the Rebels. So a little bit of light here remaining in this one. So Cole Turner checking back into the game for Romeo after the big catch. Him and Hughes now at the bottom of your screen. Agee remains as the back in the game. There's the give to McKinstry. McKinstry's going to pick up about 4 yards there. And the clock continues to tick. Late flag coming in there. Looks like I got a little chippy there on the line. A personal foul assessed against Thompson.
That's just unnecessary at this point.
Yeah, really nothing more needed, at least from Thompson, and any kind of effort, especially on the taunting end, the personal foul. No need to get chippy this late in the game. So here they come out of the pro set. McKinstry to Glenn's right, Agee behind Glenn. Here's the snap. Glenn's looking deep to Cole Turner. Looks like he got held a little bit on that play. It's going to be over Turner's head and an incomplete pass. So second down here coming up for the Rebels. I would expect for them to continue to pass the ball here. Trying to stay, Cole, as you said, as aggressive as possible. Trying to put some more points up on the board.
Absolutely, with nothing to lose left here, why not?
Well, here's the give to Agee. Agee's trying to make a couple jump cuts to find a hole. Nothing really going for him. Gang tackled there from Thompson, led by number 3, Antonio Mitchell. So 3rd and 6 upcoming for the Rebels. And a needed conversion here. So here's the play action pass to Agee. Glenn can't find anyone, so he's going to have to scramble. Glenn takes off and he's going to slide. It looks like it might have been a late hit there. And Alexander's going to get called for the late hit, and he knew it as soon as he got up that he was in there late.
Absolutely no need for that this late in the game. It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, Cole, you said it exactly. I mean, there's no need for a late hit call there. Looks like Cole Turner, they're arguing to the referee in the back in the secondary. I wanted a bit of a holding call.
What game are y'all watching?
Thompson fans not looking too pleased about this call, but it was clearly a late hit. You know, Glenn obviously was attempting to slide, already had gotten to the ground before Alexander came in there to lay the hit on him. And Thompson fans really don't need to be upset about anything right now.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous play that's not needed.
So here comes Glenn trotting back onto the field with the play call. Head referee blows the whistle to get this one going. So Glenn stays in the pro formation. Pierce Hanna now the back behind him. So here's the route looking to Cole Turner in the end zone. Cole Turner getting mugged all over him. A tough play there in coverage.